Guys, happy spring break! Now for most of you, that means nothing because literally nothing changes. Spring break doesn't exist anymore. But for many of us, it's kind of a big deal because school is out. Yeah! Homeschooling is out. And I thought it would be really fun to do a project to celebrate spring or Easter or Passover, whatever you celebrate. Today, I'm gonna be making a really cool, colorful spring wreath. Now, I was really inspired by all these awesome like hydrangea ones. I just think the flowers are so pretty. I love the tiny shape, the clusters of them. They're like poofy and fluffy and colorful and pretty, and they are perfect for spring. The whole thing comes together with recycled paper. The entire thing, not only the flowers, but my actual wreath base is from recycled paper. I took all of my kids' schoolwork because we are taking photos of their schoolwork and then submitting it electronically, so we don't actually need to turn that schoolwork in. So I'm using all of that paper and making this awesome wreath. Take a look and let me know your thoughts, and if you do this project, please share it with me because I cannot wait to see it. All right, guys, happy spring. Alrighty, step one is take your recycled paper. You can use newspapers, magazines, scratch paper, anything that you want, and fold it into thirds just to give yourself a guide. You're gonna cut each strip and then cut those in half. This does not need to be perfect, not even close to perfect, don't worry about it. Just basically give yourself a bunch of squares. Once you have those squares, put them off to the side, and we're gonna start mixing our paint. Now, like I said, I didn't have spray paint, I didn't have watercolor, I didn't have food dye, so I'm just kind of making my own translucent paint. I grabbed some fabric paint that I had in my craft closet, put a droplet of it in some water. I didn't measure the water, I don't know, maybe it's 6 ounces or so, and mixed it together until I had a watercolor-like consistency. And then I added in white to turn all the colors into pastel. So after I made my colors, I added a nice amount of white in there, and now you can see they're more pastel tones. Now you're gonna take each piece of your square and sort of pinch it in the center. This creates that little floral petal shape. Now all you have to do is dunk it in each one of your colors, and it sort of watercolors each one. You're gonna be doing a ton of these, so just have a place to set them off to dry, and this is when you can get your kids involved. Good job. What do you think?
Cool. Thanks, Mommy.
Okay, there you go. Now lay it on the plastic. Good. Now grab another one.
Mom, do you know these are called Lola flowers? They grow from the palm tree, and we bring them all the way down.
They're called what?
A Lola flower. And they come from Hawaii, and then the wind blows it, and it comes all the way from California.
Wow, I did not know that story.
And that's how I make my paper flower. Action!
I just want to say it's really stressful today.
Why is today stressful?
We're staying at home for over 4 weeks already.
You're not wrong.
Do you like the Steelers? Do you like the Chargers? Do you like the Mets? Do you like the A's? Do you like the Pirates?
Oh my God, we are losing it over here. Okay guys, so you're gonna take all of the pieces that you have painted and leave them off to dry on plastic, Ziplocs, whatever you have. I realized that it was gonna take forever for them to dry crumpled up like that, so I opened them all up, and by the time I woke up, everything was dry and ready to go. Now it's time to make my wreath form. If you already have one at home, you can just fast forward through this step, but for those that don't, grab a bowl or anything round and use it to trace out on your poster board. This wasn't the exact size I wanted, so I sketched a couple inches outside of it and a couple inches inside of it to get my desired shape. Now you're just going to cut it out and cut out the center. Just kind of jab your scissors into the middle so that you can get at the middle and cut that out. Now you've got a round shape for your wreath, but obviously it's completely one-dimensional and we need it to be three-dimensional. So now you're gonna cut some strips off of your poster board. I would say about 3 inches wide, but you can kind of decide for yourself. Now with a little bit of tape, Scotch tape, painter's tape, whatever you have, you're going to attach it to the edge of the circle. This is gonna start to create our three-dimensional shape, as you can see. You're gonna wanna do not only the outside, but the inside as well, and that's for 2 reasons. One reason is that it provides more structure to our wreath form, which we really want. The other is that the flowers are gonna go on the front, the outside, and the inside, so you need to make sure to have this shape here. Now here's all of the paper that is dried and ready to go, separated by color. You're just going to put your thumb in the middle and pinch the back. This is exactly exactly how we did it to die. And you're gonna create those flowers, and now we're going to glue them on. You can glue them on in sections, like color blocking it or mixing them, however you wanna do this, but it's just a step and repeat process. Now, this is a time where there are some options for you depending on the materials you have at home. If you do have spray paint, then you can actually just create a bunch of squares of your white scratch paper and cover the entire thing in white. Then you could go in and spray paint each section. It's a really great way to get an ombre look if you want that as well. By crumpling each one up, flattening the back, and gluing them on and pushing them really close together, they really appear like petals, like hydrangea flowers. They look so pretty, and really you just kind of keep going until the entire thing is covered. Once you're done, check it for bald spots. If you can see anything through it, add a few more pieces. If not, you're good to go. Now, I just cut off a piece of extra cording I had. I just figured out what was gonna be my top and glued it down. Then I added a ton more glue and sort of like seamed it up with another scratch piece of fabric. It's not pretty on the inside, but these are the materials I had to work with, and it does the trick. It holds it up. Now, last thing I thought is it would be really pretty to add some fresh greenery. Now, a couple things to consider here. If you have a floral wreath base that can be filled with water, then you can use fresh leaves like this because they're gonna stay fresh. The other option is letting them dry and then adding them in. And the last option would be if you have some fake flowers, silk flowers, pulling off some of the greenery off of those and adding them in. It gives it kind of a more realistic look. As you can see here, it starts to really look like that beautiful hydrangea floral wreath, but it's all recycled paper. I love it.